Focus on my brake lights.
Ain't turning back. Now that I'm back on track, yeah. Take my word for it. Put a couple bands on it. And I don't plan on letting people turn me. No. You can say what you want. I'ma keep pressing on. I can't go pop that green light. I'm feeling green right. Talking to my past life. Focus on my brake lights. Cruising to my future now.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. You are watching Breaking the Silence, and we are your lovely co-host for today. Because yes, you are joining us into the conversation, into the topics that we have for you. So let us introduce ourselves, ladies. I'm ShyTia.
I'm Francisca. We're going to get it down before 2026 is over.
Yeah, so this is Francisca and this is Angeli.
Hi.
And again, you are watching Breaking the Silence. And ladies, you know, another year has come, and with another year, our number for some of us goes up. Some people like to think it goes down, but
No,
it
mine stays the
doesn't.
same.
Yeah,
It's been
some
the same
people
for a long
it stays
time.
the same. But as we reach adulthood, what is something that when you was a child, you're like, I can't wait to be an adult because of this, this, and that, and now you realize it was not all that it was cracked up to be.
Oh my God, work.
Work.
You know what? I was like, I can't wait to work because I don't want to deal with all of these books. No, serious.
Because you didn't want to go to
Yes.
school.
No, I like going to school because, like, you know, friends and activities, but studying is like books and books and books and books and books. So I was like, I can't wait to go to work and be an adult. But then I'm like, now I want to go back to school.
Yeah,
I just
like,
want
I'll
to
take
get
that.
student again. So I'm like, oh my God.
Okay.
Responsibilities and tasks. I'm just like, I didn't know what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, I can't wait till I have my own place. I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. It's going to be great. But then the bills come.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That is
Oh,
not
my goodness.
fun.
Yeah.
Paying those bills, the adulting bills that come in with the
Yeah.
freedom, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to go back.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, for me, I thought I would have peace. As you said, like, we get to choose whatever we want to do. But no, you really don't choose whatever you want to do. A lot of times, like, if you have a boss, you're working under the boss, they choose for you. Your kids choose for you because it's like, I don't want to do this. Everybody. So you really don't have that freedom that you think you have because there's always someone adding to your mix, always choosing something for you.
I
So
know.
listen, if you are a kid, if you are a teenager, enjoy it while the time lasts, because one day you're gonna wake up and wish you can go back, but you can't. And you know, ladies, as we're talking about adulthood, there's something that we do, and that's gonna be a topic that we talk about, because we're gonna be talking about why are we shaming people for trying? Because, you know, we get mad when they don't try. And then
When
we
they
get
try
mad
too
when
much.
they do try.
Yeah.
When they do try. So it's a dilemma. We're going to be jumping into that conversation. And as we're talking about this, we're also going to be talking about the guilt that comes with saying no. No. Yes, sometimes we feel a little guilty when it comes to saying no. Do you feel that guilt? Well, we're going to help you overcome that guilt later in today's show. And of course, we have our Empower Echo session. We have a lot of different activities. So listen, get comfortable on that couch. Put your remote away. Do not touch that dial. Do not change the channel. Get your coffee, get your tea. But we are going to go on a quick break, and we'll be right back with Breaking the Silence.
Feeling seen? Feeling heard? You're right where you belong. Don't go anywhere. More empowering conversations, insightful discussions, and the voices that matter most are coming right up on Breaking the Silence. We're just getting started. Stay with us.
Do you know what it means to have the Spirit of the Most High God living inside of you? And did you know that this Spirit is not given by measure, but is poured out in abundance upon those who believe? Just as it happened to the Lord Jesus when He came into this world. This is so wonderful that we can't just limit ourselves to do His work in a mediocre manner. This is just a glimpse of the revelations that are shared in this book with servants of the Most High. The message is an urgent call for today's church to reclaim God's principles, among which are sincerity and care for the altar. Each chapter is a warning for men and women not to become spiritually lost by disregarding God's call. Those who recognize the privilege and responsibility of serving the Almighty will certainly hear God's call and strengthen their faith. I challenge you to read this book and find the strength in God that you need to rise up and start over in your spiritual life. And if you are well, you'll grow even more in your journey of faith. You can receive this book with a gift offering of $35. Call 1-888-691-2291 and we'll mail a copy to you. You'll never be the same again after reading this book.
You are watching the right show.
I've already known.
Why look anywhere else?
Cartoons, cereals, and laughs with the AM show.
Pure entertainment.
Look over here, miss. Sir.
Wait a minute.
I have good news for you. No matter your situation, no matter who you are, there is a way out. There is hope.
Everything you love is right here
On the YOLO Show.
Look, there's nothing we like to do more than heat it up
on LFN.
Is it not possible that we treat each other like brothers for a moment? The only one I had left me for a beggar.
Spread the word.
A miracle is going to reach you right there where you are.
Spread the faith.
He is able to transform your life. He is the God of the impossible.
We are the LFN, and we are here to stay.
On Breaking the Silence, we aim to broaden your horizons on a variety of topics.
Understand that things happen, life happens, mistakes happen.
Beneficial advice you can use in your daily life.
For when you're mentally exhausted, it's a completely different thing.
Let's explore today's topic together on Breaking the Silence.
Does this sound familiar for you? You are there going all around like a chicken without a head. You're looking at your husband just sitting on the couch relaxing. You're looking at your children or maybe even your coworkers, and you make sly comments like, oh, nobody ever helps me. Nobody ever helps me. Nobody ever does this. It'll be nice if you will pitch in. And then your husband gets off the couch. Your child starts helping you. But they're not doing it the way that you want them to do it. So you get mad, you yell at them, tell them, oh, I'll just do it by myself. And the cycle repeats over and over and over again. Why are we doing this, ladies? Because it happens, and I'm not gonna lie, I find myself doing it. I complain like, oh, nobody ever helps me. And then the person actually goes and they go to help me. And because they're not doing it the way I want them to do it, or they're not moving as fast as I want them to move it, or they're asking too much questions, and then I'm just like, oh, get frustrated, and I just do it myself. And then the cycles repeat because I'm like, oh, nobody helps me. They help me. Oh, why are you doing it like that? You're doing it wrong. I might as well just do it by myself. Why do we do that to people? If we actually had a little bit of patience, right? To teach the person, to give them that room to grow, because when we were starting out, we was not perfect. We did not know how to do everything well. And someone had patience to teach us, to watch us grow, to watch us make mistakes. So why don't we have that same patience for other people?
Yeah. And it's sometimes also, you kind of like think of it like this. If I would just be in that person's shoes, because, hey, perspective, productivity is different for everyone. We can be productive by just maybe folding clothes. But for someone, a mother of 3 will be like, hey, it's not just folding clothes. You have to cook, you have to wash the dishes, you have to do all of this. That's productivity for me. But for you, as somebody who doesn't have children, who's just recently started working, folding clothes is already something productive for you. So it looks different for everyone. But we tend to, again, you said, we shame others for trying to be productive when we are being so exhausted, doing all of this, being productive. So we kind of like, we need to look at other people's perspective as well, because not because we are doing so much that the other person is just relaxing and doing nothing.
Yeah, sometimes from a different perspective, right? Sometimes I think that people will shame other people for being productive, for achieving great things, for being able to do so many things because they're envious, because they're jealous, because they don't really want that person to be able to be productive and set these goals and achieve these goals and to be counted on and to be able to do so many things. So instead, they're like, let me shame you. Let me put you down so that you feel so bad about yourself that you're not going to want to try. And now that's going to make me feel better, because then the spotlight will be on me. Hey, look at me. I'm able to hold it down. I'm able to do all of these things. And that's so evil. Like, that's so wrong on so many different levels, because like you said, we all started at some point not knowing what we were doing. And all we wanted was one person to be able to help us, to give us that lending hand, to support us. I mean, people are already feeling bad when they try to start things off for the first time and they're constantly failing. So we need to be able to lift them up. And a lot of the times people feel like they need to be productive to feel like they are achieving things. And it's not so much that they get burnt out from doing it. It's just something that is built inside of them. And some people actually, it's like the opposite. When they are lazy and they're not really doing anything, that can be on the opposite side of a burnout. They feel depressed, they feel low, they feel frustrated because they feel like they're not able to do the things that they really want to be able to do.
Yeah, and you know, like, based off of these conversations, we need to have balance, right? Because in today's society, we see everybody being productive, you know, because nobody's gonna post their failures. Nobody's gonna say what they did wrong, what they didn't achieve. We always just see what the person does. And sometimes they don't even achieve that. Like, I remember, like, Bow Wow, right? When he was acting like he was in the jet, like a private jet, and he was literally on the commercial flight with other people. So it's like people pretend to do other things, and then it's like you may even shame yourself, because in your mind, like, oh, I'm looking at Francisca and she's doing all of these great things and she's moving along and this and that, and I'm not doing that. So you try, you make an effort, and then it's like you fall down, you don't make it, and then you give up because it's like my life isn't moving the same way that hers is moving. So we have to have that balance. We have to understand that we move at a different pace than everybody. Like, we need to stop comparing ourselves or other people to us, because nobody is me. What I can handle may not be what Angeli can handle. And I shouldn't shame her. I shouldn't be like, oh, you're weak, or oh, you're lazy because you can't do what I can do. So we have to have that balance and that compassion for other people as well as ourselves.
You know, and that's a really, really good point. I remember there's, things that came across my path that I had no idea what I was doing. And I felt that. Because I would compare myself to those that were doing really well, that were doing great work. And I was like, why is it so difficult for me to be able to do it when they can do it with such ease? And I used to beat myself up over it, like, all the time. The conversation that would go on in my mind was brutal. Like, I would never have the conversation with a friend in that same way. But I was always just beating myself up. And somebody was like, but they've been doing this a lot longer than you have. You don't know what you're doing. You're just starting out. Eventually, you're going to learn. You need to be kinder to yourself and easier on yourself. So you're right. Like, we do need to have that balance and being able to remember the struggles that we went through to be able to help the other person and not shame them. They're already shaming themselves.
Yeah, and you're adding on to it.
Yeah, it's just making it worse.
So ladies, we hope that this topic has helped you. Maybe if you had that shame, or maybe if you're shaming other people for trying, let us leave that back in the past. Let us make a decision that 2026, we're not going to shame anybody for just trying. But we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
Hear from strong women who are crushing their goals, overcoming challenges, and living their best lives. You won't want to miss a single empowering minute. Stay tuned and join the movement.
Jesus was more than just another man. He was God in the flesh who revealed the power of the Spirit as he performed many miracles and taught the truths of the kingdom of heaven. Jesus established his church to carry on his mission, to reveal God through both his actions and his words. The Universal Church takes that mission very seriously as a school of faith. Our goal is to help you discover and develop your faith so your life can be transformed. We teach you how to draw closer to God by activating trust, faith, and obedience. Essential spiritual building blocks for a deeper relationship with Him. What sets us apart is that your problems become ours. As we fight your battles for you and alongside you, any victory and success that you win by faith becomes God's victory and success, so that you can become the next powerful testimony for His glory. Let's help you find what you've been searching for.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was like a whole range of emotions, joy, sadness. There's gonna be obstacles. You're gonna feel like, why is it happening to me? And you're gonna realize you're not the only one. There's no perfect way. Your own way will be the perfect way. You're gonna protect it with all your might. Just seeing him happy, it's just joy, you know. I look through his eyes, I can envision like a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. Oh man, he can smile now. I'm happy because he's advancing in life, you know, he's growing. Being a young dad, it's not giving up, it's shifting. My life is now devoted to his life. Come on!
Yes, it's about that time again to play Would You Rather. And ladies, today we're going to be doing modern life dilemmas. Because there's some things that happen today that we need to decide which one we prefer. It's a struggle all around. We know that. But sometimes we have to pick a struggle, right, ladies?
Choose your heart.
Choose your
heart. Oh my gosh.
Let us get ready. I hope that you're ready. And please feel free to play along with us. Shout out your answers. But we're going to do it a little different today, okay? So we're going to say our answer, but we're not going to explain it unless someone challenges our viewpoint. So we're just going to shout it out while we're going to go and say it. But if I ask why, Angeli, then you would say it. But don't be like, oh, this because. No.
Okay.
Only if someone asks why. Okay?
All right. So no asking why.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to ask Angeli why every time.
There you go. Okay. All right.
Okay. So Angeli, start us off.
Okay. Number 1, our first one. Would you rather have flawless skin with no makeup ever or perfect makeup that takes an hour every day? Flawless skin.
Flawless skin.
No makeup. I don't think we have any questions about that.
Yeah.
Right?
Who wants to spend an hour putting makeup on every day? Like, why would I need makeup?
No makeup.
Flawless skin all the way.
Yes.
Okay. That was pretty easy. Okay.
Pretty quick.
So next one. So, would you rather be extremely productive but misunderstood or relaxed but secretly stressed?
Productive but misunderstood.
Yes, productive but misunderstood.
Yeah, productive. But
relaxed and secretly stressed.
I feel like if I'm misunderstood, it might make me stressed because I'm the type of person that have to always...
Nobody asked why.
Oh, okay. Okay, you see this? All right.
Hey, we gotta stick to the rules.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Next one. Would you rather delete social media for a year or keep it but never post again? Keep it, but never post again. I'd
keep
never
it.
post anyways.
Keep it. Hurry up, ma'am. Hurry up. Nobody asked you why. Just choose.
Okay, I'll do never post again as well.
Why? No, I'm joking.
Did you ask why?
No, I really didn't.
Okay, all right.
Okay, next one.
You see this? You see this? Okay. All right, next.
Okay.
Would you rather have a packed social calendar you cannot cancel or complete freedom with very few plans? Very few plans.
Freedom.
Plans.
Yes.
Complete.
Yeah, I think that one was a no-brainer.
Yeah, we agree on all that. Yes.
Okay. So,
packed social calendar just stresses me out. Like,
yeah, and you can't cancel it.
No,
like you have to do every single
I like
thing.
my
So-
downtime. I like my downtime.
Yeah, we like it.
Okay.
At this age and time. Okay. All right,
Speak
let's
for
move
yourself,
on.
Meow.
Okay.
Her age stays the same.
Yes.
She's been 25 for how many years?
27,
Forever.
one time only.
Yes.
Never changes.
She's like, my birthday's every
going
year.
Keep going around.
I moved it.
Yeah.
Okay, so next one. Would you rather work out consistently but never see results, or see results without enjoying the process?
Oh, this
Ooh,
is
that's
hard.
This is easy for me. See the
what is
results
it?
without enjoying the process. Girl, how often do you enjoy working out?
I like
That's
working
true.
out. I do. It's just I don't have time all the time to do it. But when I do it, I like working out.
So
I
what is
mean,
yours?
But I'd rather see the result. I don't want to be
of course,
working
I
out
wanna
and not
see the
see
Not the
results.
result. Exactly, yeah.
I want
No.
to see the results
Yeah.
as well. But
See results.
I will enjoy seeing the results.
she's
Even
like,
if I don't enjoy the process,
I'm gonna
but let me see the results.
Yeah.
I can't be in the gym working out constantly and never seeing results.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I guess it's see results without enjoying the process. It's
Yeah,
true.
we
That's
all-
discipline, y'all.
yeah.
You know, sometimes we don't want to be disciplined. I mean, we're not motivated, but
We gotta be
Okay.
we gotta be
disciplined.
disciplined.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right,
Okay.
let's see the next one. The next one is, would you rather be known as dependable but exhausted, or spontaneous but unreliable? I say dependable.
Yeah, I agree.
Why?
I was kind of battling with this one,
Yeah,
but
because-
I don't want to be exhausted, but I'd rather be dependable than unrelatable.
Not to the point of you were like burnt out, but
Yeah, but it
also
doesn't say like burnt out. It just says like
It says
exhausted.
exhausted.
Like
exhausted and exhausted.
And burnt out, I mean, are pretty
No,
like they're
because-
cousins.
No, for me, it's
They're
like, let's say I
cousins.
had a long day, right?
And
I'm
you're exhausted.
but when I sleep, like I wake up and I'm able to do it again. Like I feel like burnt
Yeah,
out
but if you're
would be
dependable,
like,
then
Yeah,
you might
you-
not sleep.
yeah, no,
so I guess it depends. But yeah, but still, you know.
yeah,
And
I
out
don't
of the
think I
two-
want to be unreliable. That's my thing. Like I don't think I want to be unreliable. That someone cannot count on.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to count on me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
dependable.
that's definitely my idea.
Yeah,
dependable.
I guess we agree on that one.
All right, let's look at the next one. Would you rather have a perfectly curated life online or a messy but peaceful real life? Messy and peaceful.
Yeah.
Messy
Why?
and peaceful.
Because you know, like if when people look at you and they see your life online, you know, they will be motivated to push themselves, to try,
No.
to
But
work.
it's curated,
But it's not-
so it's not real.
It's not exactly. It's not real.
Messy
So-
and peaceful.
But they
That's
ain't
a
gotta
real
know
life.
that it's not real.
But what is
No.
your life outside of that?
No.
They gotta know it's not real.
It's
You know,
okay.
they put on that pretty face.
I don't-
They get their makeup.
I have
they
a lot
look
of following
all
anyway,
cute
so it's fine.
for the 15 second clip.
I rather the messy but peaceful. But you know, sometimes we
you scared me there for a second.
I know. She was like, I think I wanted to have like a little.
Is my
little
co-host
nice
feeling
life.
I want
okay?
people to look at me and just think that I'm perfect. No, definitely not.
no.
We're not perfect.
No.
at all.
We don't
gotta
sell
stick with
lies
this.
here.
Yeah.
We don't sell-
We be messy, but we're peaceful. You know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's good.
Okay, so we have another one. Would you rather say yes to protect the relationship or say no to protect your peace? That's a hard one.
Yeah, this one is a little tricky.
It's a hard one. I mean, for me personally, I would say no to protect my peace, because at the end of the day, depending on the type of relationship, like if there's abuse, if there's something like that person is putting you down, things like that, then of course you have to put yourself first, you know, but there's definitely people who I know that have like marital problems or relationship problems where it's not like abuse and things like that, and they do fight for that relationship, you know. So I'd say it depends on the situation, but I would definitely protect my peace.
Yeah, protect my
Say
peace
no to
as well.
protect your peace.
Why you?
Without knowing the situation or the circumstances, but I think it's important for you to protect your peace in a relationship. Depending on, like you said, depending on the relationship and the circumstances. But if something is taking away your peace, you really need to be able to evaluate it. So I think it's important. Because also when you say no to protect your peace, you're also standing on your values, you're standing on your boundaries. And obviously there's a boundary or something that is being crossed that is not right for that person, for them to need to say no in order to protect their peace.
But I think a lot of people today, when it comes to relationships, like especially we see, like, of course we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but nowadays you see a lot of like divorces, a lot of people who they were together. So I just feel like some people are so quick to throw in the towel just to say like, no, I'm going to protect myself, when they could actually make it work.
Yeah, well, it all just depends on the situation.
Yeah, and what kind of relationship as well, because this doesn't only say romantic.
Yeah,
so if it's like a family, exactly.
Work,
work
friendship.
relationship and everything. So it depends. But definitely if it's something that's already harming you, or, you know, again, crossing your boundaries, protect your peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was some of them were easy, straightforward. Like the makeup, I barely want to wear makeup anyway.
No, serious. Like you'd see us without, you know, makeup. But anyways,
you'll see me probably. There's a couple of times where I had to do it, but I'm not gonna say nothing. But there's some that was long, that took time to think about, and there was some that was no brainers. So we do hope that you had fun. And you can let us know why you chose some of the answers that you chose. But we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back.
Laugh, learn, and love with Breaking the Silence. We'll be right back.
This year has brought on many changes. You took on new projects and learned to do it yourself, like mastering your favorite dish or learning how to change your oil. Turns out it was easier than you thought. Your green thumb may have grown, as did your herbs. Looking back, you mastered many projects, but one thing you may not have tackled is your health, even if you noticed something isn't right. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer death in the U.S. When caught early, the 5-year survival rate is almost 60%. But when caught late, it's only 6%. That's why it's important not to ignore common signs of lung cancer, like an unexplained cough or shortness of breath lasting more than 3 weeks. If you're at risk for lung cancer and have these symptoms, don't gloss over it. Do it for yourself and schedule a visit with your doctor today.
In these modern times, people have never been busier. Days fly by in a blur, filled with countless tasks and commitments. Before you know it, time has slipped away, unnoticed. Amidst this hectic pace, who remembers to prioritize what truly matters?
But the main reason Jesus brought us here is to save our soul. It's not just to bless us, because everything in this life will pass.
Wednesdays at the Universal Church are dedicated exclusively to nurturing and investing in the soul. Take the opportunity to invest in your salvation, as only you can determine the destiny of your soul, because everything else will stay behind. Yes, your soul, because it is the only thing that endures beyond this life. Join us on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. If you want to find a location near you, call 1-888-332-4141. Come as you are, but by faith, you will not leave the same.
On Breaking the Silence, we aim to broaden your horizons on a variety of topics.
I don't care who you are, fair is fair.
Beneficial advice you can use in your daily life.
You have to maximize, retirement.
Let's explore today's topic together on Breaking the Silence.
Saying no sounds like it's so easy. You're there like, say it with me. No. N-O, no. However, when it comes to real life, when it comes to putting it into practice, when it comes to us telling people no, a lot of the times we have guilt where we're trying to over-explain ourselves why we can't do it. We're second-guessing, oh, should I have said no? Couldn't I have done it? And then we have this repeated cycle over and over and over again. Right, ladies? Because with saying no, it's like guilt is a learned response. A lot of times you're taught not to say no, or you're taught not to ask questions or do this or do that. So because we're taught like, no, why are you saying no? You should do it. You should be able to do it. You should make time. I'm working hard. I'm doing all this stuff. The least you can do is help me. The least you can do is do this one little task. And then you're just like, but I have other tasks that you don't know about, or I can, or I'm sick, or this or that. And a lot of times it's like we put ourselves in harm's way, We allow all of this extra pressure to go onto us just because we have that guilt that if I say no, how is that person going to view me?
Yeah. And then it's not only like, how is the person going to view you? I don't know if you've ever experienced this before, but I know I have. When I've had to say no and that guilt comes into my, I feel guilty for saying no, even though I knew that I just was not able to do it. But then it's like I replay that conversation over and over in my mind, and then I start overthinking about how the person is feeling about me, how they're perceiving me right now. And it's just like I get absolutely no peace in my mind when I say no. But like you said, it is a learned feeling. It is a learned emotion. When you say no, it's like we've automatically believe within ourselves that saying no is a terrible thing and that there is something wrong with you for saying no. But saying no is such a powerful word when used in the correct way. And we should not allow the guilt to override us and that we now put ourselves in predicaments that we shouldn't be in because we're trying to avoid saying no.
And as you were saying, sorry, Angeli, but as you were saying, like you replay it over and over, but then it's like the other person probably even forgot. And it's like,
they're not even phased.
They're just like, okay, no problem. And then you're like, oh boy, but this, but that. And then now you're stressing out even more. And the person is just already done ask somebody else or it's already done and the problem is resolved, but you're still holding on to it.
And you beat yourself up to it until you're like, okay, the next time she asks me, the first thing I'm going to say is yes, you know? But guilt is always going to be there. The thing is, we sometimes let it lead us. So, because sometimes when we're like, okay, I feel so guilty right now, next time I'm just going to say yes to everything. But the thing is, when you say no, and then guilt is there, just stand by to that no. Because again, if you just, okay, they're gonna cross my boundaries, that's it. So you're letting it loose one at a time until whatever boundaries you've already set up, again, now there's no more boundaries. So you're back to that cycle of again saying yes to everything. So yes, the guilt will be there. It's something that we cannot escape, right? But again, as you've mentioned, don't let it override you. Don't let it be that top priority or let it lead you to saying, okay, you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to beat myself up to, with these scenarios over and over again. So next time, yes. Because no is such a, both of you said, such a powerful tool, sentence, word. It's such a short word. It's just 2 letters. However, it weighs so much. And it weighs so much on us who's saying it and also for those who's receiving it. But then because of that guilt, again, we tend to just like discard it because it's so heavy. So it's rather, let me just make peace with everybody and then, so I'll do the sacrifice instead. I'll compromise instead.
Something that came to my mind, like when we say no, when you say no and then that's it, I mean, sometimes at the wrong time, it can definitely come across as rude. And I think that's sometimes why we don't want to say no. because we don't want to be rude, we don't want to be like disrespectful, but it's like, how can I say no without just saying no? Like, is there another phrase that I could use that could maybe land a little bit softer without wanting to be able to say no? But we lose the value in saying no when we try to over-explain ourselves. And like, no, I'm sorry, I can't X, Y, and Z. And if I'm able, then maybe I can't. And it's like, now you've talked in circles and the person is just like, why are they over-explaining this to me? Why do they feel like they need to justify their answer?
Right.
But it's like this instinct inside of us, like, oh, but if I say no, now I have to buffer it up with this whole long paragraph and explanation as to why I can't do it. And it's like, calm down.
Yeah,
Like,
and
no, it's okay.
I have that issue. Like, I have that problem where I over-explain myself, and a lot of times my husband says, like, just answer what they ask. They didn't ask you all of that.
Yeah.
They just, so that's what I had to like learn how to do. Like, just answer. And if they ask why, like if I say like, I'm sorry, I can't right now. If they ask why, then to go in the explanation. But if they just say okay, then it's just okay. So
but in your mind, that okay is like, oh no, they're mad at me.
They're
my
not
gosh,
happy with my response.
And it's something also like, as we said, like we have to learn how to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, as we was talking about earlier, protecting our peace. Like, if I'm saying no, I know that I'm the type of person, if I do say no, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
So if you can't accept my reason, or if you get mad at my reason, I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with helping me or protecting me, even if it makes you mad for the time being, because I know that maybe like I can, and then later on I'll be able to get to it. But we can't be that person that kills themselves to do everything for everybody else. And I remember there was a friend of mine that I had, and we did the same, like we were coworkers. And all the time, she will ask me, can you help me? I didn't finish. Can you help me? I didn't finish. And I always be like, yes. But it's like, I'm sacrificing myself. I'm sacrificing time with my husband because he's like, oh, let's go out. Let's do, oh, no, wait, let me finish this. And he's like, but you finished yours. Oh, no, I'm helping her. And so he was like, ask her why she always asks you. And one day I asked her, she's like, you never say no. And she had no shame, no nothing. She was just like, you never say no, so I know that if I don't do it, you're gonna do it. And so he said, you see, I had to learn to be like, it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
It's okay to just be like, I can't. And because at the end of the day, it's your task to do. Like, I did my task, and I shouldn't feel guilty that you're not finished with yours when you could have done it. You could have sacrificed, but you didn't. And that's something that we have to learn. Stop killing ourselves to help other people who won't in return do the same for you.
Exactly. Yes. But you see, when you don't have that boundary, right, when you haven't set that up, the person is just going to keep like, taking advantage of that, they would say kindness or you being nice, you all the time saying yes. In that scenario, it's something that, okay, no problem, I can just be relaxed because this person is always going to,
it's going to be done.
Right,
They're not even going to worry about finishing their tasks and responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
They know you're going to come in.
Exactly. So it's like, that's something that we have to work on. Letting go that guilt, letting go that shame. You should not feel ashamed for saying no. Yes, we know that it's hard. We know that it happens. Sometimes you overthink, but push yourself to get out of that comfort zone of always saying yes, because at the end of the day, you matter too, and you have to protect yourself and your peace. So sometimes that means saying no. But we're going to go on a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Empowered women, empowering conversations. Stay with us on Breaking the Silence as we inspire and uplift each other.
Too busy to sit down with your favorite network? Not home to catch what's on TV? Welcome to the ULFN app. There's nowhere else to find action, drama, news, and motivation that lifts you up like our inspirational programs. No matter where you are, there's no better way to tune in and stay up to date with the latest episode when it airs. Our live broadcast enables you to watch us anytime, anywhere, 24/7. Never get left out again. If you're a fan of any of our programs, download the ULFN app now and watch what you love. Available both on the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Queen of All Knowledge here, reminding you, creeps out there on the internet hack, scam, and trick savvy cyber users every day. But we can fight back. It's as easy as IC3. If you're a victim of online crime, don't give up. Visit IC3, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. Your tips help the FBI track down cyber criminals around the world. Report your crime to www.ic3.gov today.
Loving the show? Let's keep the good vibes going. Follow us on Instagram for show clips and behind-the-scenes fun. Be part of the conversation. Join us today.
Okay, ladies, so it is time for our empowered echo because we just talked about letting go the guilt, the shame. So now we're going to give you that empowerment just so that way you have the strength to say no and you have the strength to keep moving forward, keep trying, right, ladies? So we have some quotes here that we're going to be discussing that has helped us, that has empowered us, and we hope that it also empower you too. So let us go with our first quote. And our first quote is, "Nothing can dim the light that shines from within." And that's from Maya Angelou. So as we know, nothing can stop you. And I always tell people this, like once you made up your mind, once you have a decision, there's nothing and no one that can stop you. So that light that you have, and sometimes we don't see that light, you know, we don't see it. Everybody's like, oh, you look like you're such an inspiration or this or that. And it's like for us, we're just like, really? I don't know. Or like, you don't see yourself the way I see you, but there is something there. There's a light. And only we can dim it. No matter the outside forces, no matter what happens, that won't dim the light if we choose not to allow it to.
Yeah. And also because it's not something external, you know, so we can lose a lot of things externally, but then because it's within, it's something that it's within, naturally it's gonna just flow, you know. As you've mentioned, sometimes people don't even, you know, they would tell you and you don't even notice it because it's coming from within. It's not something that you've kept it external that you could just hold on to it. It's something tangible, but it's something from within that flows. So I think that even though, you know, some people would try to put you down, some people would try to cheer you, but then there will be those who would actually see it, not because you're trying to kind of like, you know that light, it doesn't force itself to light the entire room. You know, once it's there, it's that dim of light, but then it's not darkness anymore. There is a light that exists in it. So I think that that's so important because like when it's from within, it's something that you cannot take it. You know, take it away. Take it away.
Yeah. I mean, but y'all pretty much said what I was thinking. But one thing that came to my mind is a lot of the times things happen to us in life and we blame that those circumstances have changed us, has dimmed us, has darkened our life, has darkened our perspective on things. But when we look at this quote, it's basically like even all the bad things may happen to you, but that light is still shining from within you. And you need to find that light and allow that light to shine through all the darkness that you've been through, because that light will be able to break all of that. So don't allow what is within you, like you said, it's nothing that somebody can take away. It's not something that somebody can dim. It's within you. You need to find that light and let it shine through all of the darkness you've been through.
Okay. Yes. So,
all right. The next one.
Yes. The next one, Angeli.
Yes. So this is from Mahatma Gandhi. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. Yes. And sometimes we think that changing the world or doing something in the world is like you need to have like that grandiose movement or you need to be that person who's protesting, being on TV and all of that, but just in a gentle way, you know, just affecting those closest to you. that one step that you were so fearful to do, that one door that you were so afraid to open, just that one step could already pave a way to everybody who's like looking at you, you know? You have family, you have friends, and they see you. So in that gentle way, you are doing something. You're doing something. Not necessarily you're going to be there in front of the camera. You're going to be that leader in that movement. Not necessarily that. But amongst your friends, amongst the closest ones to you, you are doing something there. There's a change that's happening.
Yeah, and I think that the key word there for me is gentle. Because in the world, it's not, people are not gentle anymore. And that is so much more impactful. People remember when you've treated them kindly, when you've been gentle with them, when you've been kind towards them. And that has a ripple effect. It's like when one person is nice to somebody, who is kind to somebody, the other person now wants to return that favor to somebody else. So it's like you could shake up the world by being gentle, by being kind, by being understanding with people, instead of being so harsh and aggressive and just in a negative way. I think we see so much of that. So you can really shake things up by being kind and in a kindful way.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like pay it forward, you know, like you were saying, like you do one thing for somebody and that will keep paying it forward. And sometimes you don't know like what you will do for someone else. There's sometimes where you'll change a person's life or you'll say one thing that will help somebody and they may never tell you. And then they go on and they say it. And then they say, and then you could be helping someone in Africa or like China. You never even know because it's just like you just did your part. You just did something so natural to you or maybe something so small in your mind, but it made a big difference in somebody else's life.
Yeah. That's a good one. All right. So the next quote is from Michelle Obama. Do not bring people in your life who weigh you down and trust your instincts. Good relationships feel good. Basically, she says it all. Like, I don't even know how to echo on this. But yes, good relationships feel good. They make you feel good. You just, I mean, the quote says everything. But just don't bring people into your life that are going to weigh you down.
Like you have that choice. Like you have the choice of who you allow in your life and who you don't. So if the person doesn't need to be in your life, cut them off because at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah. And you already know, like, you know, those, imagine you want to have like some move it, you want to move, but then there are these people that instead of putting, you know, cheering you on, they're the ones weighing you down. So again, make your choices.
And
it doesn't necessarily
trust your instincts.
Yes, trust your instincts.
And not what the input of your family member is or the input of others are. Trust your instincts.
Okay, so let's go to our next one. Our next one is, you are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress, from Sophia Bush. And this is so true. Like, we're not perfect, but we have to be okay with who we are, you know. Yes, we have flaws. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, we have things that we need to fix and we need to change, but we shouldn't allow that to put us down. We have to be okay with who we are now as we're working, as we're moving on the journey.
Yeah, and it's okay, again, it's okay that you worked on one thing and then there's another thing that you need to work on, right? Because sometimes, you're working on this, like, until when are you going to work on this, right? You're working on your patience, you're working on your anger, you're working on your relationship with family. So you'll have to have like, okay, maybe like set like a deadline, not a deadline, but okay, I'm going to work on this one thing at a time. So yes, you can be a work in progress, but also you can have like that masterpiece, be that I've worked on this one, you know, I've worked on building this good relationship with my family, but on this side of my life, I'm working on something else. So you're both at the same time, a masterpiece and a work in progress.
So what I got from this was like, you could be a masterpiece, meaning like you can already be whole. You can already be good as you are. Like where you are right now in your life, you are good, you are whole. But there's always going to be room for improvement. There's always going to be room for growth. So although you are a masterpiece, you are perfect as you are now. But you recognize, like you said, there's areas that you can progress. There's areas that you can improve, areas that you can grow, areas that can be added to your life. But as you are now, you are a masterpiece. You're perfect the way that you are. but we don't want to ever just stay where we're at. We want to be able to progress, to be able to grow and to develop, and not just say, I'm good like this and I don't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
We always need to be growing and changing.
So ladies, we do hope that you enjoyed this, that you feel empowered, that you got all the good feels, and now you're strengthened. But we're going to go on a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Breaking the Silence.
Hear from strong women who are crushing their goals, overcoming challenges, and living their best lives. You won't want to miss a single empowering minute. Stay tuned and join the movement.
From the pages of the Bible, an epic story of faith and destiny. The Promised Land. Joshua leads the 12 tribes of Israel.
Those who choose not to follow orders will be considered traitors.
Conquering kingdoms, facing betrayal.
Well, I believe that you would be a great leader, but I was wrong.
And fighting impossible battles. Love, intrigue, war, and miracles. A drama like no other. Experience timeless lessons.
He answered me.
And the power of true faith.
I come to you and I humbly beg of you for aid.
The Promised Land, only on LFN. Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in and be inspired.
A solution exists to all of your problems. Don't just settle for a life of suffering or misery. Dare to believe by taking action. Night or day, our text line is available for you. 1-888-312-4141.
Real women, real talk. Breaking the Silence is where stories become connections. Let's break the silence together.
Ladies, so I know this year is the year that we said we're going to be disciplined. We said 2026 is the year of discipline. But after today's topics, today's show, I think I want to change my word of the year to balance.
Balance.
Okay.
To balance. Because, you know, when we have balance, we don't shame people for trying. We have that patience, we have that understanding, that compassion for others, as well as ourselves. You know, we're not putting ourselves down. And we also know when is the right time to say no. You know, because yes, we don't want to be the person that always says yes, but we also don't want to be the person
that person is always
that says no.
Yeah, we don't want to be unreliable too.
Exactly.
You know?
So we just need to have balance. If we have balance throughout the day, throughout our life, I feel like we'll have that peace that we're looking for.
Yeah, and one thing to remember that when we were talking about saying no and talking about the guilt, something that came to my mind was that we think that by saying no, that we're not going to feel that guilt. Like, oh, this person says no, they didn't ever feel guilty. They can always say no without any problem, and that's not true. So we need to get comfortable with, even though we feel guilty, by still saying no. In the same way, it's like when you're scared to do something. You're going to feel the fear, but you still need to do it anyway. So in the same way, you're going to feel the guilt. Until you start teaching yourself that it is okay to have boundaries and to say no, you just need to fight that guilt.
Yeah, because until you like tell yourself no, until I don't feel guilty anymore, until you wait on that day, you're never ever gonna say no.
Exactly.
No, you're never ever gonna say no.
You're never ever gonna say no. And you know, something that we should never ever ever feel guilty for is by you scanning this QR code that is popping up.
And don't say no.
Don't feel guilty for it. Don't say no, because we do want to hear from you. We want to hear your comments. We want to hear how you're enjoying the show. If you have questions, or if you maybe know someone who will be great to be a guest on our show. Maybe you want to be a guest on the show, but you're afraid. Don't be afraid to reach out to us because we would love to have you here with us. So we're saying no to the guilt and we're saying yes to you trying to move forward in this 2026. Right, ladies?
Yes.
But you know, it's about that time of the show. The time we all least like about the show. But you know, it had to happen because all good things come to an end. So it's time for us to say, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.